Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from the host ImperialDane, the one, the only master propaganda hero psych defender of the fatherland. Off it all 1v1 on the road to Tunis. In the west stands DarkAlric, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Here with the 1st Armoured Division. In the west stands the ImperialDane himself, the one and only, fighting here for the Wehrmacht of Germany, Deutschland. Let's just go with Hermann Göring Fallschirm Panzergrenadier, as actually a Panzergrenadier division in Tunisia, but will be later updated to a Panzer division by Italy. Fun fact. Straight to Breakthrough here, of course. Double Pioneer into Grenadier start, my preferred opening. I have been experimenting a bit with cannon crowds again. They really just die too fast in my taste and just have a bit too limited utility. And there you go again, the fast Jeep here with the veterans who want ultimately on it. Again, I kind of expect this to get toned down. Pioneers heading northwards here, we got the Grenadiers moving westwards here, and now the Pioneer squad moving southwards. Down in northern point here, there's a Jeep. Pretty standard stuff there, of course, allows them to grab a lot of territory. It's basically an armed Kettenkrad for all intents and purposes. Following up with, there's an MG42 to support my Grenadier, moving westwards here, gonna dig in here with some sandbags. Pioneer slowly northwards. Jeep got the northern fuel point. Opponent is definitely with that Jeep getting a lot of fast map control here. Rolling forwards here towards the high munitions point. Continuing in here with my Grenadier. Maschinen Gewehr team ready. Popping in there. I do all just prefer Breakthrough because it just fits my playstyle more. I mean, Mechanized isn't bad between either the Battle Grenadiers and the machine gun, but I just kind of like Breakthrough, honestly. So yeah, Jeep was the Pioneers there, and he's been caught with the Scouts. Obviously not the biggest threat there, not by a long shot. Running up with the 2nd Grenadier squad. North here, the Pioneers are just basically keeping the Jeep occupied. Like, I imagine he's not going to ignore the Pioneers when they're close to the fuel point. He can't divert infantry elsewhere, whereas the Pioneers are just keeping the Jeep from, grabbing more terrain or bringing a pain in my posterior. Following up with the 2nd Grenadier squad, machine moving towards the center here. Going to reposition the Grenadiers to move up here. He's sort of dug in, so I'm kind of thinking get away with just keeping the machine gun here to occupy them with some infantry. In fact, it looks like I may end up deciding to just pull further northwards to go for that Jeep. So now Sunday Pioneers moving forwards. Got the MP40s on the way there, the assault package. Going forward on my full health Grenadiers because it kind of makes more sense to upgrade them. North, get the enemies, they push back the Jeep here. Allowing the Pioneers to to the fuel point. Steady advance there. And far south here, Pioneers part of the Rifle Squad. There we go. Assault package upgraded. Scouts, Jeep strung out the Grenadiers up at the northern point.
We're dropping like flies here.
Taking some nasty losses here from the Jeep, though, caught in a bad spot. The Scout there certainly adding a bit of extra pressure, had to cover those up. And of course, you need to take more damage while laying down sandbags, which is basically what happened there. And I'm going here for another machine gun to help support my troops. I could also maybe go for more Grenadiers, but in this case, I do end up just going for the machine gun. South side here, Pioneers being spotted with the two Rifle Squads. Grenadiers moving in here to sort of keep things occupied. Machine gun should, I think, follow in there as well, but I may decide not to after all. Got the Panzer Grenadier company up there. Easily my favorite building. I know some people do prefer the Luftwaffe, at least preferred it until they nerfed the Jaegers, but I just like the Panzer Grenadier company. Very much fits my playstyle overall, much better than the Luftwaffe one. Which I think is like one of the neat elements of the design. This will show, say, two paths in terms of playstyle here. The Luftwaffe and Panzer Grenadiers. So, more Trout here. Very typical again of the new American metagame there. Versus the Wehrmacht. Since they're typically going to go for machine guns, you typically want some mortars out. And of course, that could be an argument again for me not going for 2nd MU42 team, but rather committing to more Grenadiers in the early game. North here, Grenadiers catching the Rifle Squad here by the high munitions point there. Map control wise, my opponent continues to exert pressure. The Jeep, of course, being a crucial element here. Rifle Squad, they push back with MP40 Grenadiers. The Maschinenpistole in 40, which is basically an updated version of the MP38. The main difference is the MP40 was a lot easier and cheaper to produce. That was basically it. The MP38 was largely milled, whereas the MP40 was largely stamped. Modifying the machine gun in the building here. Panzergrenadier Company ready. Pioneers heading out. Skirmishing in the west has got the Catling 40. Again, standard infantry center choice here from DarkAlric. Nothing wrong with it, of course. There's a reason why most American players at the moment go for this particular build. It's fast, it's efficient, and you know, just very solid. Catch the mortar here with the machine gun vehicle. Anything solid with the Ralph Squad, the captain. Then he's being bled out. Need to treat them before I do lose them. So obviously that's going to be a massive waste of manpower. Following up with some Panzergrenadiere. Some more hardened German infantry with the Sturmgewehr 44. Or I suppose from North Africa with the Maschinenkarabiner 42, which was the earlier model of that weapon. Ralph Squad have been caught between two MD-42 teams. The result is not too pleasant here. We also got fast BARs here. Most American players do prefer going for a fast Greyhound at the higher levels, but in this case, DarkAlric, though, just prefers the fast BAR there. That's obviously also just very good as well. Pulling up with some Panzergrenadier here, Grenadiers reinforcing. We do need some metal stations up for healing. As none of my Grenadiers are veterans who want so can't heal themselves. Large Squad moving straight into the MD-42 here, and we got the Jeep. They're causing trouble on the east side here. DarkAlric, of course, looking to just constantly shift around. They keep pressure up on me. Harassing again. Their veterans 1 Jeep is excellent for that. Pioneers wiped here. Forgot about them up north. Bit of a mistake by me, obviously.
We have finished the research.
Bit of a mistake. And into Breakthrough, which again I like as an ability. It's also one that does synergize with just having a lot of infantry, which obviously again I could have gone for another Grenadier squad instead of that second MD-42. There's always something to consider there. And there you go, popping Breakthrough. Allow me just quickly push back on map control against my opponent. Again, this is also why some go for mechanized, because you just get raid attacks with the vehicles. You can just, like, grab territory that way. But I just prefer faster capture speed on my infantry. That is what I like, y'all. Far south here, Captain routed. Machine gun providing some covering here. We got Ralph Squad attacking here, mortar another angle. Ralph Squad ready at the center. We got extra BRs being added there. We also got the upgrade, so this upgrades are cheaper. Machine getting outmaneuvered up north. Got the support elements upgrade on the way. This is, of course, I want a Stug 3D. Either to deal with the Greyhound, of course, you know, to shoot as infantry with. The Stug is very good at that, yeah.
Our arsenal has been expanded, Commandant.
Grabbing the Jeep up north here, grabbing the fuel pond there again. I'm aiming all for just early map control as much as humanly possible. Which is also why I try to employ the machine guns more actively to support my troops and just fight from map control that way. Again, it is also risky. I will not deny that. Got Grenadiers Ralph Squad in the center, low on health though. The Grenadiers can close in quickly and actually get the upper hand here with the MP40 before the BARs really come into play. Bit of luck there for me, actually, that DarkAlric. Interesting enough, did not have the medical station ready by that time. We got the motor pool now. Bit later here, so he's still going to go for the Greyhound most likely, but again, does it in a slightly reverse order. Which honestly benefits me a fair bit. But that's that. Center Victor Point security, Grenadiers closing in, again using the free sprint, because that's really good. And allows your troops to get into cover more heavily, can allow you to rush down your opponent before they're ready for it. There's a lot of good elements to it. South of the machine being pushed back. Definitely stuck around here for too long. Tactically, big mistake by me here, and there's a good chance that DarkAlric wipes the machine gun crew as he should, and turns it against me. Oh, I get away with it. How did I do? Oh, that was lucky. Sheer luck, not skill on that one. Up north here, Jeep, they're busy repairing itself. Motor pool stands at the ready. Going for the anti-tank gun, so that's probably just why I went for it. Another reason, again, is popular is because the anti-tank guns are quite good now. So looking for such Sturmgeschütz. Digging in here. Grab northern points. And all it's just, you know, maintaining a sort of, you know, aggressive posture so you can get away with it. Can call in the Stug 3D now. Motor holding back here, there we go. North pumping, catching up with the Ralph Squad and the Jeep, forcing away my Panzergrenadier with a few well-placed shots. And he's doing some healing. Well, crucially, they could also do with 4 other Grenadiers. Got the MP40 gun is moving northward. Stug 3D, they're slowly getting ready.
The enemy has claimed our territory for their own.
Going for that Jeep. I want that Jeep in flames.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
And for south of some machine gun pioneers again. Honestly, I probably shouldn't be doing this without infantry support or something else. Too risky there. Definitely a tactical mistake there by me. Grabbing some points as well with the depleted grenadiers, moving up another machine gun on his own. But now we got the Stug 3G ready. And immediately, of course, I jump my panzers on it so I can just quickly get him to the front line. Also, it just means I have less to manage here, since, like, you know, it's not just one Stug with some panzers riding on it, it's effectively just one unit, so it also frees up a lot more, you know, management. I don't have to worry about, like, you know, the panzer is lagging behind or whatever. They'll just on it and then boom, you get them there. Very handy, and of course looks really, really cool. And technically this is, you know, also fairly tactically accurate, since Stugs were meant to be escorted by infantry with assault rifles whenever possible. Fun fact! They would also, I think, pass this on later to other tanks as well, but close to the end of the war here. Keep firing at the machine crew here. Stug pushing forward for the mortar crew. Of course, got the MD-42, and I actually go here for a mechanized assault group. Calling in the Sturmtruppen to assist my Sturmgeschütz. I think I'll also go for the Sturm upgrade. Captain there being mauled by the Panzergrenadiers and the Stug. Clearly unprepared for the sheer rapidity of the German Blitzkrieg. In this case, Stugkrieg. Rushing north with the 251 Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen. And of course, also use to reinforce my frontline Truppen. In this case, my frontline Maschinengewehr. Rifle squad caught here. So, again, shifting to a much faster and aggressive footing versus my opponent. And there we go, getting the Sturm upgrade. Meanwhile, reinforcing a bit here and there. Should of course do some light repairs on my Sturmgeschütz. As for my opponent, we got the anti-tank gun there ready. I would not be surprised. The arrival, of course, of a Stug charging at him has caused him, of course, to develop Stug fright and go for another anti-tank. And we got Starsturm, half-tank against the rifle squad, which with no veterancy is easy victims here for the Starsturm. And of course, the half-tank certainly has just a tiny bit with this Maschinengewehr, but admittedly, not a lot. Going towards the center here. Charging in here, getting a bit overconfident, but, you know, sensing an opportunity to launch air assault here. Charging in with the Stummel here too far, of course I completely neglect the possibility that my opponent might have another anti-tank gun. This is obviously what we call me not thinking this through entirely, and of course the Stummel then immediately proceeds to blow up, because again, I got way too aggressive. This is, you know, one of my flaws. Sometimes, you know, I just get way too aggressive for my own good. Thing is, though, you know, sometimes it works. Sometimes you end up with a burning Stummel by the wayside. Go figure. But there you go. Aggressive machine gun pushing punch the Starsturm, ripping free through DarkAlric's infantry. The Starsturm there with 3 kills, steadily approaching Ventures 1, ripping through those Americans with the Maschinengewehr 42. G for the feast, more guns moving forward here. Pushing back those verdammte Amerikaner, heading to the carve point here. Mortifying the machine crew by the center victory point. Rifle squad advancing into line of fire of the Starsturm, the Grenadiers. Neatly another poor sap drops down. In fact, another one folds after him quickly there. Goddamn Crouch got Karl. I mean, the Karl's got Karl? Oh, not every German is called Karl, you know. That's just stereotypical bigoted behavior. Second Stug ready. Adding some Pinnamat Maschinengewehr. I could have also done differently with the Stummel. I could have deployed smoke with it, you know, or something else. Definitely mishandled it there by me.
You need us?
No excuse. Anyways, counterattack here from my opponent now, of course, but still managed to push him back. I typically find, personally, that, you know, the best success you're going to have against this kind of build is handling it quite aggressively. It's not easy, admittedly, but they tend not to expect you to, like, get aggressive with them and, like, try and hit them very, very hard. Machine head gets wiped, overextended, wiped, and seized. So crucially, I do have sort of an infantry edge now. The 2 Grenadiers, the Panthers, and the Starsturm, at least infantry priority. Grenade assault here on the retreating troops. Sadly, they retreat too fast for the grenade assault to have much of an impact. Go, Starsturm on the move, very close to Veteran 1, unlocking the shock assault ability. Once more, the Panzergrenadiers is riding the Stug. The other one's being repaired. And mechanizing your infantry, it never hurts.
Panzergrenadier company is being upgraded.
Stossturm advancing, going for the officer quarters. My Stugs and my Panzers get some nice bonuses. Far south, the guns get advanced to the southern victory point. Quick sprint. Raising out for the Faserland. Grenades off here. Ooh, and this is actually a nice bait by him. He actually baited me into the grenade here. Cheeky. Alpha Squad here versus Stossturm. No cover versus heavy cover. Jack there is quickly yacked down. Also got a 30 cal out here. Clearly my aggressive infantry attacks causing some consternation. We got heavy mortar fire. He's actually brought in 2 mortars, much to my surprise here. Gunhull there drops there. Panzer being caught with a 30 cal there, quickly holding that advance here. So DarkAlric here bring up a lot more support weapons, trying to respond to my, aggressive infantry and assault gun tactics. Very support weapon heavy approach here. I could arguably maybe try for needle rifle here. It could have been nice if I hadn't thrown away that Stummel, wouldn't it? North here, Jeep still added. Still an absolute pain in my posterior. Stuart the disengaging here. Other remaining reserve should definitely be moved back towards the other one, so they can coordinate and direct the firepower towards the same target. And now I go for a 3rd Sturmgeschütz. Yes, you heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. A 3rd Sturmgeschütz.
Victory point lost.
Heading for the northern point with the Grenadiers and the Pioniere. Keep one small races away, much to my annoyance. No sign of tech, and of course my opponent, having gone armoured, will likely turn to rely on the EC8s. Stugs remaining reserve here, waiting for the next order to move, but also for me to figure out where exactly the anti-tank guns are. They can maybe set up a better attack. Grenades up north in the Grenadiers. Keep racing in again, Vetchny 2 here. 3rd Sturmgeschütz ready, and of course immediately adding an MG42. Cannot stress this enough. Pinmount machine guns are an excellent upgrade, in particular on your Sturmgeschütze. Captain being mauled here, the Stossturm now Veterans 1. Got 8 kills. Rifle squad there being mauled.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
North got the Stug shouting rifle squad here, got the point blank blast. Immediately causing here DarkAlric to hold his men back before they get turned into, well, that. Stug's disengaging. South here, assault goes forwards here, and I think this is not quite intended. Maybe it's the wrong timing, but I'll push forward to the Stossturm. Again, a season opportunity. In this case, the support weapons are exposed. Push forward with the Stossturm. The machine guns, the G43s, and of course, a large amount of grenades here. Catching the mortar crews on retreat, and wiping one of them, I believe, and the other one is close being wiped here by the 30 cal dust walls of my Stossturm. So yeah, I think that ends up being a wipe. Yep.
Where the hell did they come from?
Stug's charging in here. Falls the machining gewehr. Could probably spread out the Stugs a bit more. There we go. Try to ensure they don't, mess with the others pathing on retreat here. Anthony gets a shot through here. Also pops an ability here. Though can't quite remember which one he picked there. Oh wait, 30 cal there in trouble with the Sturmgeschütze. Blasting at it from several sides here. And this, here we got the other force ready. Could try and sneak up through here in the south. I do have my remaining machine gun here at the ready. Another penetrating the Stug. Quick grenade on the Grenadier. It's a retreat. DarkAlric here, of course, just, I think, buying time here for that Sherman EC8. I'm just trying to apply as much pressure before he gets there, so by the time he does get the EC8, the opportunity cost he's paid is going to be significantly higher than he might have liked.
They only have 100 points.
And again, make sure, again, he's not going to have a lot of victory points, try and make a comeback on. Captain the South here caught, and absolutely not having the best time of his life. Need to retreat that captain before he gets hosed. Blitzkrieg ready. Stossturm here, and there we go with shock assault ripping through those Americans. Here we go. Right, being pushed back. No mercy here from the Starstruppen. Almost ready to on these chaps. Almost ready to. I could take up. I could try and hold up for a Tiger. In this case, I do go for a Granate. We have a bit of artillery.
The enemy has 75 points left.
Keep hitting southwards here. And there we go. We got the heat out here now for DarkAlric. Time to turn up the heat. Northeast Stuke seeing the northern rifle squad here. Other Stuke heading southwards. Got the Jeep and the mortars here combining on the machine gun here. He's also recruit the ones here. He's rushing forwards here, straight through the centre. Stukes in the north turning around to try and deal with that southern Stuke here, pushing forwards, going for that Jeep in the south here. Mortar fire there, and he wiped the machine gun completely, leaving me with no machine gun on easily accessible. Didn't get the Jeep. Panzer Grenadiers moving up the centre here. Stukes charging in, Grenadiers moving forwards as well here. It's turning a bit messy here. And this is where I think I actually messed up. I don't know what happened, went wrong exactly, but somehow I'm just ending up with the Stukes charging in there, and so I just move in with the Stuke from the south to like try and add some pressure on the southern flank here. Turns into a complete mess for me. Like, my guess is I accidentally gave an attack order to the east and they just followed with it or something. Like, I don't know, but some units just basically went in where they weren't supposed to. Costing me a Stuke there. I do wipe both his mortars though with a single point blank blast. Talk about value, but the same Stuke's about to get wrecked by the east as well here. This turned out much better for my opponent than did for me here. Huge blow they made. And my pioneers are about to get wiped as well. There's a try to move in to grab the mortars, but of course my brain like completely, glips out there on the EC8. So I commit the Starstorm now. I'm just looking to like cause as much confusion as ranks and exploit any gap to like minimize my losses, at least the gap between me and him in terms of losses. There's Starstorm moving through the rifle squads here. The anti-tank crews there for not having a bad time. Starstorm forced off there. 19 kills though. Panterfaust and E6 Stuke pushing forwards. Trying to maybe take out that E8, but at this point, of course, I realised I probably shouldn't be pushing my luck any further. A brutal engagement here that I'm still not entirely sure how I managed to push those Zooks into that, but it happened. It happened. In the end, though, partly the infantry bailed me through there, and of course, the Stuke on the flank. Nothing quite like the flanking Stuke. Most players never expect it, because most players never flank with the Stukes. There's a piece of advice. Flank more with your Stukes. Which was the Grenadiers on that Panzergrenadier. Another Sturmgeschütz on the way here. Mortar fire there on the anti-tank gun from my Granatenwerfer. The MG42 now sees my opponent being turned against my troops. The most sad moment there. Great for my opponent though. First Sturmgeschütz got Ralph charging in the port on them, forcing them to Grenadiers. My pencil's in trouble. They do get the anti-tank crew here, host. You see him pushing in the E8 with a heavily damaged engine. It's also worth noting it is halfway to Veterancy 3. Like, that E8 did some absolutely bananas work there. And my Stuke, of course, is in intensity repairs, but I got no pioneers. So it's a bit of a hectic situation here. Starstorm going at it, Betty 2. Valiant, but shock assault here. Bravo squad, obviously taking an intense amount of damage from the Starstorpen. Almost got the entire unit wiped out here. Forcing away the rifle squad there. Starstorm also finally forced to vacate the premises. Mortar being pushed forwards, infantry moving forwards. Breakthrough tactics again, just to keep up pressure on my opponent. Try to stress him out. Force him into like situations where he may not quite want to commit yet, but doesn't really have much of a say in the decision. And he's been caught between the rifle squad and the E8. We got a grenade off here, and I'm clearly not paying attention, so there's a good chance to lose the Grenadiers. Yup, that's a full wipe. Quite the blow. Got the Stuke's been committed here, forcing at least the E8 somewhat away. In the centre, they push forwards with cover of smoke from my Granatenwerfer, I believe. Yup.
The enemy has only 50 points left.
50 points left here for DarkAlric. Got the Sherman there, dueling out with the Stukes. Panzer's being to support as well. Starstorm's ready. And the Ralph squad just kind of forgotten about DarkAlric as he holds away his EZ8, allowing the Stukes and the Panzergrenadiers to wipe them out. casualties for DarkAlric piling up. Grenadiers with the assault units in the centre. The assault units about to get wiped out here for DarkAlric. The Grenadiers themselves risk getting wiped out by the MD-42. Would not be surprised if he's going to try and go for another EC here soon. Not be surprised at all. Starstrom holding forwärts. Stugs still need repairs. In fact, I'm going for another Stug. Part of me, you know, could maybe try and hold up for the Tiger tank. Maybe I'll still do that. But there's just the part of me that's thinking, like, you know, my opponent keeps churning out EC8s at me. Trying to hold up for a Tiger tank might prove to be disadvantageous. Smoke again.
A machine gun has been destroyed.
Machine gun wiped out again. EC8 struck hard. Got the grenade assault here from his machine gun. Almost wiping out the entire machine gun crew. Got 27 kills on these gentlemen. There we go. Now these hit out here for DarkAlric. What? Oh, red phosphorus. Oh, the blend curve. We got the assault user as the Starstrom. Just holding the line there for the fast land. Ever close to the ace level. 31 kills. I may have shot the Starstone a bit short there after the initial blast, which is one reason I actually wanted to show this off. They definitely, I think, are a bit better than initially gave them credit for. That definitely, I think, deserves being pointed out. The EC8 rushing forwards. Stug's been caught a bit off guard here. Other Stug counter-attacking here. One Stug kaput. EC8 ace almost done there. Brad Pitt, they're doing what they can against these Sturmgeschütze. It may not be enough. Still going to in the south. We got Punt Gunners going for the Sun Victor point here. Clashing over it. Route Sport, they're depleted. We got 10 points left here, but my forces are exploding at an increasingly rapid pace here. Stug, halfway to the ace level. Need to be careful not to extend here. We got 37 versus 10.
Breakthrough tactics activated. Territory capture is prioritized.
Stug there. Somehow survives with next to no health here. DarkAlric rushing in his EC8 here, but perhaps decides against it. Starstrom on the move once more. And again, supreme close to Veteran 3 here. Flanking up again here, getting up behind him. He does tend to leave this part exposed, so that makes for an easy attack path for my infantry. Starstrom pursuing the attacking infantry up north here. Stug's being repaired. I need to get those Stugs operating. There we go. Ace level Starstrom, 135 health. Captain there being murdered, and there you go. GG. Game over. So perhaps not the perfect highlight here in terms of, like, you know, how perhaps to deal with this strategy, but I do think it gives some ideas, because typically for some of the various players of seeing, you know, players sort of catch on the stream but didn't get the replay, is like, you know, actually like having some success. It typically tends to involve a more aggressive strategy, typically, you know, with breakthrough, hitting the opponent hard, keeping them off guard, like trying to make it difficult for them as possible, just easily and safely stall for the EC8. Like, if you try to stall up as that, I typically find you're going to have a harder time than if you just try and hit them as mercilessly and brutally hard as possible, and you just try to keep them, you know, off balance. I think if you do that, you will typically, I think, perform better in my experience anyways. So, just some thoughts here from me about it. I hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. You can also support the Propagandacast by, you know, pledging on Patreon and donating my PayPal. Again, big thanks to Andrew, and a big thanks to my Patreon supporters as always. And honestly, you can also buy the game by linking comments using the code CoH3. This is ImperialDane saying cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.